The river has seen it all. Long before the steel, the smoke, and the sirens, it was a silent witness to a frontier that would change the world. July 1701. Antoine Cadillac didn't see a metropolis. He saw a strategic bottleneck, a place the French called Le Détroit, the Strait. They built a fort, a church, and a dream, but the frontier was unforgiving. Ownership would change hands like the seasons: French, British, and finally, American. In June 1805, Detroit almost vanished. A baker's tiny fire turned into an inferno that leveled every single structure. In a few hours, a century of history was gone. Judge Augustus Woodward didn't want to just rebuild. He wanted a masterpiece. He drew a map of spokes and circles, a city designed to expand forever. By the mid-1800s, the river was thick with steam. Detroit became the world's leading manufacturer of rail cars and massive iron stoves. The DNA of manufacturing was set. They called it the stove capital of the world. Thousands of workers were already mastering the heat, the metal, and the discipline of the factory floor. Then came the spark. In 1903, Henry Ford founded a company in a small wagon shop. He wasn't just building a carriage, he was building a revolution. Before Ford, a car took 12 hours to build. He brought it down to 93 minutes. Suddenly, the car wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity, and Detroit was the only place that could make them. The $5 day wasn't just a wage, it was a siren song. It pulled thousands from the South and from Europe, creating the first true American middle class. Chapter 10. The Great Migration. Detroit's population exploded as families sought a better life in the booming factories of the North. By 1920, Detroit was the fourth largest city in America. It was the Silicon Valley of its day, a place where anything seemed possible. When the world went to war, Detroit stopped making cars and started making history. Every hour, a bomber rolled off the line at Willow Run. It was the arsenal of democracy. At its peak in 1950, 1.8 million people called Detroit home. But the foundations were cracking. Highways were carving through neighborhoods, and the industry was moving out. July 1967. A police raid ignited a 5-day rebellion. It wasn't just a riot. It was a scream for justice from a city divided by race and economic pain. The decades that followed were cold. Disinvestment, white flight, and the gutting of the tax base. By 2013, the debt was an insurmountable $18 billion. The bankruptcy was a death sentence to some, but Detroit used it as a reset. A grand bargain was struck to save the city's soul and its art. Chapter 17. The Grand Bargain. A unique deal protected city pensions and saved one of the world's greatest art collections from being sold. Today, the Motor City is the city of design. Ford has returned to Michigan Central. The NFL draft smashed records. For the first time in 67 years, the population is growing. Detroit isn't just making cars anymore. It's making the future of mobility, technology, and urban life. The grit is still there, but now it's fueled by hope. Detroit's history is the American history, a cycle of reinvention that proves no matter how far you fall, the rise is always possible. If you enjoyed this journey through time, make sure to like and subscribe, because the story of the Motor City is just beginning.